Judith Collins, Minister for Space and Defence with the New Zealand Government. Thank you so much for joining us on Australia in Space TV. Welcome to Sydney for IAC 2025.
Well, it's been great so far. I was here on Sunday and obviously very busy yesterday as well. It's wonderful to be here and to see so many countries here. And because Sydney is so much closer for us to be at, it's so much easier.
Well, it is all about New Zealand and Australia's relationships. We've just been here at the launch of the Australasian Space Innovation Institute, an iteration of the SmartSat CRC. So very proud from Adelaide's perspective, but it is a new launch, and we had Minister Ayres here as well. But New Zealand, you're all part of this, the Institute.
So we're on the steering committee, and our head of space agency in New Zealand is on that particular agency to get everything set up. So we obviously have to go through our own processes, but we're very positive about what we can do with the Institute, and we think it's a great idea.
Wonderful. Now there's an investment there, I heard, of 5.3 million this morning. So we had a room of VIPs here, pretty much the Australian and international space community here. But yeah, what's maybe the involvement there with the New Zealand Space Agency?
So it's very important for us that we work together with Australia. I mean, we're very good friends, and we even sometimes speak the same dialect of English. But we are also have such a long relationship, and from our point of view, we've got maritime work that we need to do together. Obviously, the maritime surveillance is something that's very important to us and to Australia. There's also a lot of work that will be going into things like our agricultural areas and dealing with the climate adaptations and what we need to do, but also in relation to some of the Indigenous people's work as well. So we are, very good working together. We've got a long history, particularly with the CRC, which is now, coming to an end, and so it just makes sense.
The other one is maybe a brief sort of background into New Zealand with Rocket Lab there. I think last time I heard you talk, New Zealand's one of the most active launch countries up there with China, yes, Russia and the United States, right?
Yes, well, we beat Russia last year, which I'm particularly pleased about. I don't know why.
Good.
Well, I do know why. We are third in the world at the moment. We were last year as well, and we are still tracking at that. 4 successful verifiable vertical launches into space, and for a small country with a small population but a mighty power base on the space area, we're doing really well.
But maybe also about your roles, Minister of Defence and Space.
Yes,
how do you bring the two together?
I've got 7 different portfolios,
yes,
so I won't even mention all those, but I also have our security agencies as well, our intelligence agencies, both of them, plus defence and also obviously space, and 3 others. But they really do work very well together. So obviously our space industry in New Zealand is very focused on civilian space, but we are now moving with our defence capability plan and doubling of our defence budget, which we announced earlier this year, moving into defence and space as well. So particularly around the maritime area, but also around how we can protect ourselves much better from space. What we've seen from Ukraine is that a smaller nation with less in terms of power can actually, if they're really innovative, and we certainly are, and so is Australia, we can actually do really well protecting ourselves and also our neighbours and our friends.
Last one, you mentioned small nations. UAE was here yesterday. Mentioned they've had a big uptake in their STEM program since they've sort of undertaken space. Are you finding that in New Zealand, your STEM uptakes for space, and does the New Zealand community understand the New Zealand involvement in space?
I think everyone's really excited about our involvement, and when I keep telling everyone that we're behind China and the US and China, and then there's us, the big 3, people do get that it's very important. And I think too, space is very hard to be anything other than excited about. Yep. And when you're a 15-year-old kid at school and you're sitting there wondering why you need to do your physics and your chemistry and everything and your maths, space is it. And so it's a great reason to keep kids at school learning, do the STEMs, and by the way, have a future.
Wonderful. Minister Collins, enjoy the rest of IAC. Enjoy the rest of your visit here in Sydney. No doubt you've been here many times. And we'll also come by the New Zealand Space Agency and hopefully speak to somebody there.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, you mentioned Robin is here as well.
Yes, Robin's here, Robin Henderson, the head of our space agency. But we've got a great team here and always small but mighty.
Well, you're a wonderful advocate for space as well as New Zealand. But thanks very much for joining us on Australia in Space TV.
Great, thank you.
Well